Today we're getting into another whiskey from Traverse City Whiskey Company. This is their barrel proof whiskey. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today here on Blind Whiskey Reviews. As I said before, we are getting into another release from Traverse City. This is their barrel proof whiskey. It is a straight bourbon whiskey, and this one in particular is bottled at 58.3%. So what is that? 116.6 proof. On the back it says it's aged for more than 4 years and bottled at full barrel proof. So that's good. I like to see people releasing whiskey at 4 years old or more, at least in bourbon. For me, that's kind of like the minimum you should be putting out bourbon at, unless you're doing something else to kind of add some complexity to it. Because earlier than 4 years, the whiskeys tend to not be very complex. So I think 4 years is a good mark to start talking about putting your whiskey out. So hopefully this tastes delicious. I can't wait to get into it. Let's crack this bottle open. So we got a nice wax top, even on this little sample bottle that they sent me. And again, thank you to Traverse City for sending these samples out. I much appreciate it, and I'm very happy to be able to get to try these. I don't know which direction they wrap this, and it doesn't want to come off. Might have to speed this part of the video up if I can't crack this thing open. There we go. Sticky. All right, let's get the pop. Nice little pop, real cork. Smells pretty good. All right. And as always, guys, we will be doing a blind review of this bottle down the line. I don't always do that with samples, but when they sent me a lot of different samples, so I'd really like to do blind reviews of all of them as well. So we'll be doing those down the line when they come up. And I got plenty of whiskey to do that with. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Got a pretty dark color for a whiskey. I mean, they said it's more than 4 years old, but it's got some nice dark color to it. I believe this is their whiskey. I don't think this is a source product. It says produced and bottled by Traverse City Whiskey Company. I would imagine that means that they made it, but hey, let's find out. Got some nice dark characters on the nose, deep rich notes. Smells pretty good. Got some lighter fruit there too. There's like a nice rich red apple. A little bit of a cherry, brown sugar. Not a lot of heat either. I can get my nose in this glass. A little vanilla. Not much oak to speak of, but I mean, for a whiskey that's 4-ish years old, smells pretty darn good. So I cannot wait to get into the taste. Cheers. That's pretty good. So right up front, you're kind of hit with some of those light fruit notes, apple, some almost like pear. Mid palate kind of changes, but let me get another sip here. Yeah, there's definitely some cherry there in the mid palate. Some of those sweet brown sugar notes. There's almost like a cherry cola-esque kind of quality in the middle as it like transitions from this like fruity cherry quality to kind of like those sweeter brown sugar notes. That's really nice. There's a little bit of harsh burn in the middle of the palate. Nothing too crazy, but it's definitely a little bit harsh on the tongue, which is maybe where the youth on this whiskey is kind of showing a little bit. It's definitely really not showing on the flavor so far. Definitely got some nice flavors here. Let's see what's on the back of the palate. Yeah, on the back of the palate, just some of those like herbal, oaky notes, a little bit of that tannic bitterness. You're left with a little bit of that fruit sweetness, like some of that apple note, a little bit of that cherry kind of quality. Overall, so far, really good. Very impressive, especially for a product they're saying is more than 4 years old, which would mean, I would imagine it's not 5 years old, right? Because they would have said that it's 5 years old if it was. So it's somewhere between 4 and 5 years old, I'm guessing. So pretty impressive for a whiskey that's that age. Lots of good flavor, kind of reminiscent of what New Riff is doing in that age bracket. They're able to really pack some flavor and some good qualities into a whiskey that's pretty young. So these guys are doing something very similar here. It's really good. Now I'm getting some really like strong cinnamon notes on the nose, and I'm not picking those up on the palate just yet. Give one more taste. I will say, while you do get a little pop of harshness on the tongue, it's definitely not living up to the 116.6 proof that this whiskey is. You definitely can't tell that this whiskey's that hot. Definitely has a lot of nice, robust flavor, but it doesn't really bring that kind of intense burn on the palate. So, pretty well done so far. I'm very curious to see what this whiskey is going to do with a little bit of airtime. So as we always do in these reviews, we're going to give it 20 or 30 minutes in this glass, give it the chance to open up just a little bit, and give us a hint at what this whiskey is going to do with a little bit of airtime. So let's give it that time in the glass, and we will be right back. All right, we are back, and the whiskey's been sitting in this glass for right about 30 minutes. So I'm excited to see how it's opened up a little bit. I really enjoyed what it was before, so let's see how it's tasting now. Nice nose on this too. Yeah, really nice. Just a lot more of the same of what we were tasting before. It hasn't opened up too much just yet, but again, it's only been sitting in a glass for 30 minutes, so I like the characters that are here. I like the depth that is here. I think that's what's most impressive about this whiskey is for being a whiskey that's in the 4 to 5 year range. It's got a lot of depth of flavor. You usually don't get those deep, dark notes on a young whiskey. And so it's nice to taste those here. Actually, I'm almost getting like a peach note on it now. And kind of in the after flavors here. But we're getting a lot more of those nice red apple, cherry, plum, some nice like light caramel notes, a little bit of oaky bitterness. Like I said, I've got this lingering, almost like orchard peach kind of note here. Let's get another taste. Yeah, really solid. I would say the only thing that really gives this away as potentially being a younger whiskey is the harshness on the tongue. So it does have a bit of a harsh character, a little bit of bitiness on the tongue. So it's not as smooth as it probably could be if it was a little bit older whiskey. You know, if this was probably 6 years old, that would probably dissipate. And this whiskey is going to be amazing. When these guys get their whiskey to that age, watch out. Because so far, it is really good. So I'm very impressed with this whiskey. I think they've done a great job with it. I'm going to give it, right now, I'm going to give it an 87. I think it is very good, very solid. I hope it'll get a little bit better when it opens up. And I think when it opens up, what I'm really looking for it to do is maybe lose a little bit of that harsh character. Because really the flavors that are here are good. It's got some nice complexity. I would more be looking for that, a little bit of bitey character on the tongue to kind of back off a little bit. If it does that, it'll definitely improve another point or two for sure. So we will see how this does down the line in the blind review. I'll be pouring a sample of this in, like I said, 2, 3, 4 weeks. And we'll use that to do the blind review, so it's at its absolute best for that review. So hopefully that review will come up pretty soon. If you've had the chance to try the barrel proof whiskey from Traverse City, definitely leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, if you didn't comment on the last video from Traverse, let me know what your favorite whiskey from Traverse is. If you had the opportunity to try a few more of them, love to hear which one. I've also got their rye that they sent. I've got their regular bourbon release, and there was one more. I think it was like their a cherry flavored whiskey or something like that, which I've never had one of those before, so I'm looking forward to trying that one as well. So again, let me know what your favorite is in the comments down below, and as always, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at blind_reviews. You can also catch me on Instagram at Mission Bottle Kill, where I'm posting pictures of people killing all kinds of great bottles of whiskey, and you can send me an email at blindwhiskyreviews, that's whiskey with an E, @gmail.com, and until next time, cheers.